a superstar here. My wife is awesome. And here we are, another episode of Take a Smile, Unstoppable, with Michael and the sexy co-host. Can I call you co-host?
I don't care as long as you call me.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Let me call her right now. I'm gonna call you.
I'm sure you are. Hi, everyone. Hello. Are you really going to dial my phone? That is my ringtone for my husband.
Howdy, y'all. Welcome back to Unstoppable with Victoria and Michael. We are almost into the next month,
September.
which is my wife's birthday,
Yay.
which she'll be
21.
29 again.
Hey, it's also the anniversary of my rebirth from my amputation, which was September what? Remember? Do you remember?
No.
Okay, I'll give you a hint. It's my favorite number. What's
I
my favorite number?
don't know. 17 is?
No.
18?
Yes. No.
8.
Yes.
See, I was right on the money.
Whatever. September 8th is my anniversary. It'll be 3 years since they whack-a-mole my arm. I can say that because it's amazing. Can I just tell you, hold on, that, and then the same week, squirrel, the same week, this year, I'm having another life-altering surgery. So, okay, can we give it a, it's bad when
Left field, Bryce. Left field.
your surgeon says, what's your New Year's resolution? And I say to stay off the OR table, and he taps my shoulder and says, you really need to make your resolution something you can achieve. It's funny. It's not funny. I don't even know why that's not funny. You know,
Yeah. Which surgeon was this?
the one from Australia.
Oh,
Yeah. So I am just saying. Whatever.
this month.
Yes.
Let's
we're
circle back to what
so much. And then we have this massive surgery. And we have the release of our masterclass and our newest book, Dear Silent. My husband is just starting to look at it. What are your thoughts so far? I mean,
My God, for our listeners and those of y'all who have written in, we did have a cutoff date because we just got inundated with a horde of stories, testimonials, and my God, they were some of them were so heartbreaking.
no, all of them are heartbreaking.
That we couldn't read them. I mean, we read them, but I mean, it was so hard. And these are true life events, and these are people's lives. You know, yay, they condensed it down to a page and a half, maybe a page, a couple paragraphs. But my God, some of these are coming from children. And you really know what it's like to see through the eyes of a child, and then to have them, remember this, years later as they're grown-ups, and to write it down. Whereas back then they couldn't say anything.
Right.
Because that's mom and dad, or that's mom and stepdad, or whomever.
Right. But you didn't get very far into it when you were in it. You had to stop.
Yeah, I've got through about 10 pages, and then yeah, it's overwhelming, y'all. This is going to be a great, super fantastic book compiled by just hundreds of people out there listening, and we thank y'all. This was my wife's idea.
All the money is going to go back to helping these amazing individuals heal.
Right.
Because healing shouldn't come with a price tag. It shouldn't. And it's going to go hand in hand with, no pun intended, but a masterclass that I've been working on creating. And waiting for my husband to say something. I created part one of a mapping, if you will, today. It's a 23 lesson course. It's course 1 of how to prepare to leave. Leaving isn't easy, is what it's called. And it really goes into the whole scenario, which just flat out pisses me off when people say, why didn't you just leave? Like, why don't you just shut the hell up? You don't know what it's like, right? It's like, I've never had cancer by the grace of God. I couldn't fathom what it's like to be a cancer survivor. And I wouldn't even try to pretend to imagine what it's like to go through having cancer. So don't try to figure out what it's like to be a survivor of abuse, because I'm not going to put myself in your shoes because I can't wear them and you can't wear mine. So don't just look at somebody and say, why didn't you just leave? It's like asking a cancer patient, why didn't you just get off? Right? I could never do that to somebody. I couldn't ask that question. And one of the things I, honest to God, cannot tell you how many times I've heard, why didn't you just leave? And it wasn't just from so-called family, so-called friends. Where is my husband going? It's also from individuals that really and truly had no business asking that kind of question. Like, for instance, when I was being interrogated left, right, and center, uh, during this process in the beginning, I was being interrogated by military police, CID, you name it. And everybody would ask me, why didn't you just leave? And how do you ask that to somebody? I mean, no matter where you go, people, oh, just leave. That's like the number one question that falls out of their face.
Can I go there?
Sure.
Okay, I was that idiot. I was that jerk. I was that asshole that asked.
You've asked me. Yeah.
Okay. So I was a cop. All right. So I'm back in cop mode. Victoria, we're out here on the disturbance call. Never said they heard screaming. Okay. Victoria, you know I've been out here before. I've arrested your husband several times.
A lot of times they don't arrest.
Okay. So I'm going to arrest him tonight because I see a handprint on your face.
What if you see marks on him?
Bruising. I see defensive wounds on him. The house is trashed up. Looks like you got some broken pieces of glass on your elbow. I'm going to arrest him. And I'm going to ask you to leave. Okay?
But you're going to incarcerate him and make me leave too?
Right. I'm going to say, this is your time because he's going to be in jail. Okay? Don't go bail him out. Don't go post bond. And just leave. Just pack your bags and leave.
It's not that simple to do that quickly.
I don't understand. Just pack up some things. Right now you don't have a kid, you have a dog. Pack up your dog, grab some of your clothes.
But at some point I'm gonna have to return.
Why? Just file for divorce.
But how do I do that when he controls all the money?
Well, while he's in jail, go ahead and deplete your account.
There's so much more to it than that. It's not that easy. It's not that easy. I mean, I'm the one who's the victim. Why do I have to leave? Why do I have to do everything to convenience him? I mean, the cars, he has total control of everything. How do I do that? I mean, where do I go? Anywhere I go, he's going to find me. And it's going to just infuriate him to a whole different level. And then it's going to happen again. If I'm going to leave, I have to do it smartly. That's why the average person goes back 7 times, because they don't have a plan in place. And I hate to say it, but my memoir, Who Kicked First, really goes into almost a handbook of it in its own way. It details in depth how I got out. And honestly, it was tricky. It was very tricky of how I got away, because every time I kept going to authorities and showing more proof, showing more evidence, all I kept hearing is, why are you making him angry? Why can't you just do what he wants? And then he won't do this. That's a load of shit. And I've said this time and time again, everything could be hunky-dory. And then his side piece says, I can't see you tonight, or somebody cuts him off on the way home from work, or he gets in trouble for something. And I promise you, your body is his battleground the minute he walks in the door. That's what's going to happen. And so then after having so much evidence, I kept hearing, why do you have so much proof? Why do you have this overwhelming amount of proof? Because nobody's doing anything to protect my life and my unborn child's life, because I was pregnant when all this happened. So this is what I would hear. Well, why do you keep doing this to him? Why do you have so much proof? because nobody's believing me. Nobody's doing anything to help me stay safe or to protect my child. You know, the military has something called the Transitional Compensation Fund, right? How would I know this if I wasn't told about it? Right? So I was a civilian. I had no idea. I went to the advocacy center time and time again. I had the business card. I had the advocate's name and her personal cell phone number on it in her writing. And later down the road, I get told, I thought you were taken care of. You must have fallen through the cracks. So then they tell you, oh, there's a transitional compensation fund. Well, we helped you. Do you know how much I got of it? Not a penny, not a dime. But here's the thing, as a police officer, you wouldn't know how to do a vehicular pullover unless you've been trained and you've gone through it, correct?
Right.
How would a civilian know about transitional compensation if she wasn't given the information? I had the fucking freaking pamphlets from the military in possession that showed all of the options that are out there for someone going through this in domestic violence. And I got zero assistance. Zero.
So they acknowledge it to
They covered
the
up in the
degree
military a
that,
lot.
hey, here's a place where you can get help.
A lot of times it's covered up in the military. It's the good old boy syndrome in its own way. Because it could go all the way up to the chain of command. And when I went to the base commander with my private investigator after I had escaped, they openly stated they knew about what was going on with me. And we have it documented, we had it recorded. And still. And I have to be very careful because I have signed a non-disclosure because I did pursue litigation and we won. And it's not an exorbitant amount of money because there's a cap on it, right? But I wanted our daughter to always know you fight for what's right and you never give up, right? And I wanted to hold accountable those that should have been. Did they get held accountable? No, they retired with full benefits and received all the bullshit that they get. Idiot gets full pension or whatever. He wasn't in a full term or whatever it's called. What did I get? Nothing. Nothing. Not a thing. And that's the reason that this 2-part series is coming about leaving isn't that easy. It's not. And it pisses me off because so many people are so quick to judge when they're outside the window looking in, but they're too afraid to come in and help, right? It's real easy to open your mouth and wah, 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 and say whatever you want to say, but doing something to support someone and help them get out of a possible life-threatening situation is different. And let me tell you, and this is recorded and it goes out to millions and millions of people, and I will stand firmly with what I'm about to say. God forbid someone put a hand on the face because I'm not going to be the bitch outside the window. I promise you that. Like, right? It's just not going to happen. You lay your hands on our child. That's all I'm going to say. And I'm not putting out a threat. I'm putting out a promise because as parents, we are rightfully so able to protect and defend our family and our children. And if somebody out there doesn't think that I will, then most people don't know me as well as they should. And I heard a lot of people ask me, you have multiple black belts. You are trained in martial arts. Why didn't you just beat the hell out of them and get away, right? One of the first things you learn, and you learn in the police academy, is de-escalation. First and foremost, right? Right off the bat. De-escalate, get away. When you are straddled in your sleep with this son of a bitch on top of you and you're pregnant, and he's beating you in the face, left, right, and center, to tell you, bitch, get up and go get me something to drink. I'm thirsty. You know de-escalation is not possible at that moment. When the one time you try to leave, he shoots and kills your puppy to show you what he would do if you left, you know you've got to be real smart to get out and survive. Real smart. So de-escalation doesn't always work. I will tell you that my martial art training saved my life. Because I know that some people might think, and I would love your input on this, some people might think this is like wackadoodle for me to say, but anybody with any martial art training will relate. when you are going through and doing your training and moving up in rank, you spar and you work on your katas and your form, but you spar against other martial artists. And when you're getting punched, you're getting kicked, you're getting hit, you're learning how to take it, is what it is. And so many times I had to psychologically put myself back in like a dojo mindset because I'm pregnant, right? And it's just a hit. It's just a hit. And I openly admit that I made a deal with the devil. I told him if he never went after my stomach, my child at that time, I would not fight him back. Because I knew there was no way I was going to get out and survive. There was no way. I was in the ICU too many times. I was at death's door too many times. And I knew I had one chance that I would actually be able to get out and survive. One. And so I could heal with a broken nose. I could heal from a broken jaw. Not pleasantly, but I could. I could heal from broken foot, broken fingers, whatever. I wasn't going to lose my daughter. I just wasn't going to. And so many people gave me crap about the fact that, well, you have all this martial art training. Why didn't you just kick his ass? Well, it's not as easy as people think. It's different if you are approached out in public and somebody tries to jump you. Absolutely, you can defend yourself. But like I said, when you're asleep and you're pregnant and you're already healing from other injuries and you just watched your puppy get shot and killed, and every time you try to show somebody that there's an injury and they just kind of laugh in your face, you do become that battered, beaten, just inverted person that doesn't believe in themselves, that doesn't believe in the idea of ever being free again. Your self-esteem goes in the toilet, it's tanked. Control becomes like his every way of life, financial control. And I made 5 times a year what he did, if not more. But it doesn't matter because you say anything that's out of line and violence was coming your way.
And y'all, excuse me, that was just a small snippet of her story. We read so many stories like hers, and you find out the reason why, why can't I leave? Why couldn't I leave? Why didn't you leave? Y'all go to Amazon and pick up her book by Victoria Curate, Who Keeps First, and be on the lookout for this one coming in October.
The one thing I want to bring up that I think is, and I think you did, I think I read this one to you, is at first I didn't understand it was a child who, and it is in the book, talks about how much they hated their mother, right? I hated my mom my entire childhood. I didn't know why. I hated her because she wouldn't leave, right? She wouldn't leave. You know what I'm talking about? And it goes on and on about how this child had to watch their mom get beaten constantly and ends up towards the end where they realize that this mother that they made miserable their whole childhood because they hated their mom so much ended up realizing that the reason she stayed was for the kids. And a lot of people say that because the mom was petrified that if she left, yes, she would be free. Yes, she would be protected. Mm-hmm. But so many times, as I even heard at one point in court, when I said to the judge, I'm going after termination of rights, and the judge says, well, he hasn't hit the baby. Not yet, but it's coming, right? It's coming. And I said, he's not going to be alone with her. Again, he already hurt her. He already hurt her. And I would be damned if I'm going to let it happen again. But the story of this individual that wrote in was, I hated my mom. And then I realized that she knew if she left, every other weekend I'd be alone and she couldn't protect me. What an eye-opening.
Right.
Right? It's a huge eye-opening.
But then you had that story that put out here recently about that so-called father. He wasn't a father. He was
the one who killed his 2-day-old
yes.
baby. Oh,
that was just
God. It just makes me so angry. Having kids is a privilege. It makes me sick because some people do it for government assistance because they get so much money. Not everybody, some, right? Then you have people who waited their whole life to have children and they can't for whatever reason. And then you have people who have absolutely no business having kids. None, right? Absolutely none. And in Alabama, they started doing chemical castration on pedophiles when they're released. And of course, people went up in arms how that is inhumane to do to someone who has been rehabilitated. Well, first of all, we all know you're not rehabilitated, right? Second of all, when you come out and you have touched children, I don't believe you have the right to have a child. And people are like, well, that's their right. They have the right to have kids. No, they don't. No, they don't. I mean, why should they be able to have a kid?
No, I agree.
Do you think chemical castration is inhumane?
No, it's not harsh enough.
And then they're told they can't be around schoolyards or schools or playgrounds. And people say that's not fair. We even had a pedophile on our show, and he argued that there shouldn't be a sex registry, that the money should be used to help them. And if they want to hang around a school or a playground, they should be able to. But do you remember what he said that really just floored the both of us about? We asked what would happen if his child, if he ever had a
Oh
child,
my God, what an idiot.
if he ever had a child and that child was abused. Do you remember what he said?
Yeah.
What did he say?
That he would try to provide therapy for the abuser with his child in the room.
Yes. I lost my
Are you kidding me?
shit. Are you're gonna re-assault that kid. That kid's gonna get re-assaulted. And then there's dad who's supposed to be the protector, who's
Yeah.
supposed to, be the one to protect the child. And you're bringing this person in monster into their home, where your home is supposed to be your safe place. It's supposed to be the place that you're safest and you know that you are loved and taken care of. And then you bring this monster into the home. That just doesn't even make any sense to me at all.
Yep. So we haven't had any more maps on our show.
Right. And then I was told that we had to identify him as a MAP, not a pedophile.
That's right.
Do you remember what MAPS was the acronym for?
Minor attracted person.
That's disgusting. That's disgusting. I'm sorry. Kids can be adorable, cute, beautiful, handsome, but how are you intimately attracted to a minor child? And I guess we won't understand because we're not that way. We're not wired that way. But and then I have to touch base for a minute. Like all of Georgia, thanks to the governor Brian Kemp, just put flags at half mast for the shootings that transpired in the Catholic Church.
School.
But here's the thing: the person that came out, his mom was a teacher in the school. Okay, and I've seen mixed reports, but he was going through a transformation. He was trans, right? But what I don't get is, and I've seen this so many times when I've read the background of these people who go in there with their manifestos of what they want to do to the schools. And a lot of them, especially this guy was obsessed with Call of Duty. He was playing it constantly. And he thought because he could just freely run around and shoot people on a game, that was his reality. He could go and do it in this place. And then these young, innocent children are killed. They'll never get to have their graduation, or they won't get to have a wedding, or go to prom, or do all the things that they have every right to do. And who the hell are these people to take that away from them? Who are these people who can just go up into a Walmart and just randomly stab people for no reason? It happens in Target. It happens, everywhere now. You see it's constant that this is happening. We saw 3 bomb threat scares in elementary schools in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Elementary school. Are you kidding? That to me doesn't even begin to make any sense to me. What the hell is going on with this country? And so many people are blaming Trump. This didn't just happen with Trump. Columbine didn't happen under Trump's administration, right? So how are people blaming him? I mean, come on now. This, and it's like people find amusement in the most disgusting, darkest ways. And until you're in that situation, still, and here's the thing. My husband has, in the last several years, become very sensitive to certain things. Like we gone out to dinner and we see a beautiful family trying to have dinner and they have a child who's autistic or a child who has Down syndrome or something like that. Everybody is staring at this kid. But you know what? They're a beautiful family. They have every right to go out for a dinner. They have every right to eat a pizza, right? And these people don't care. Well, like now, all over social media are these two hoo-ha clowns that are like, hey, people say that the disabled don't get a fair chance. But if you have a woman and only has one leg, she can always go to work at IHOP. That's not funny. I don't find that even remotely funny. I wouldn't find it funny if I wasn't an amputee, and I damn sure don't find it funny now that I am an amputee.
So how am I sensitive?
Because you acknowledge these families and you go up and you talk to them.
Oh, yeah.
And you offer our academy, you tell them about Stucco Squad, and it's just, why does everybody have to be so negative?
I do. Whenever I approach this family and say, hey, we have a show that we would love to have you come on. I've seen so many bright smiles and it's just lit up their day, of that child. And the parents are glad. But that smile on that kid's face, it makes it worth it.
Do you remember when we were invited to Eric's birthday party and we had him on the show and he was inaudible, but he tried to sing and it was the sweetest thing ever. I mean, he was a great kid, but it's just these families, you have no idea what it's like. I mean, none. Don't even for the minute start to wonder, you might miss your tennis game or your whatever the case may be. We're hoping to have a day off from a therapy. We have physical therapy, we have feeding therapy, we have speech therapy, occupational therapy, then you have all these other things you have to go through and implement them in throughout the day. But there's not one thing we would change because that's our child and we love our kids wholeheartedly and unconditionally. But the people out there that are so quick and judgmental on people that are out there making a difference, first of all, I've noticed that, and I hate the term special needs. I think it's wrong. Everybody has their own needs, right? Everybody has their own needs. We're not disabled. We just have obstacles. We have different obstacles to go over, but it gives us a path most people would never see. When I'm in the grocery store line, I will wait and go in the line with someone I know that has an obstacle to overcome, right? And I tell them, take your time. And I'll even slow down putting stuff on the cart. Be like, look, I'm one-handed. It's going to take me a minute, because they're doing their best. They are, first of all, they're out there doing a job. They're making a living, doing what they can. Good for you. You're out there doing something. If you're out there even bagging groceries and you take it out and take it to the vehicle, good for you. You are doing something. And then you have these assholes that are out there going, oh, you can go work at IHOP. But you know what? Misery loves company. And it is these poor pricks that are out there belittling the very people that will smile at you and try to make you have a better day because you are being a dick or an ass. Excuse my French. I get a little.
She gets carried away.
Say carried away. It's the fact that I love our community wholeheartedly, but so many people are so quick to be like, man, I just had a hard day. I want a beer, and I got to listen to this kid who's autistic in the next table over. Can I move? And it's like, yeah, well, you have an issue with the fact that they're having a celebration and they're out having dinner. But you know what? You're about to drink. You might have another one, and then you're putting my family in harm's way because you just can't go home and crack a beer open at home and leave the keys on the counter. So you might be, making a mess of more than just yourself. But they still seem to think that's okay. And it's not. You have a choice.
You made a comment earlier about they don't know what it's like.
No,
so to speak. They haven't walked in your shoes. They have no idea what patience is until they've sat with a spoon for how many hours?
I'd sit there 6-8 hours a day and not move. Just hoping that she would take her first
drink ever. Have our daughter eat one bite.
That's right. Every day. and they told me she'd never eat. This kid, okay,
Oh my God.
she would never eat. So she just had a plate bowl full of my husband's homemade, I don't know, garlicky potato, like soft potato thing.
Hello, taco taters.
Whatever. And she had a whole bowl. She had a large mozzarella sticks marinara. Then she had sauteed onions. And then she had some chicken and like a whole bunch of stuff. Right? This kid who was
Cheese
told,
bites.
right. She was told she would never walk, she'd never talk, she would never eat, she would never be able to do anything, has won an Emmy, kiss my ass to all those people who said she wouldn't, would never be able to do 99.999% of the things that she was said she couldn't do, and she does them all better than anyone who ever opened their trap mouth ever. That's all I'm gonna say.
No, you got more to say.
I always have something to say.
You know, a lot of that is, I believe most of that comes from her drive, but her inspiration is you. You know, and then you know,
Say that.
then there's me.
My inspiration.
But
Why would you say that?
one of the dog.
It's not a dog, that's my stuff up. That's my stuff.
Yeah, she gets her motivation from you. So if you hadn't been there, she probably wouldn't have done 75% of what she's accomplished. I don't think so. I mean,
Well-
she woke up to what? Hearing your voice,
Hearing me sing.
hearing you sing,
That would wake anybody up.
and then seeing me.
That would wake anybody up.
Well, easy breezy.
No, it's hearing me sing.
Okay, no. You sound like an angel.
Whatever. But the thing is, you know, they tell you don't stimulate. You can't stimulate when they're in a medically induced
Oh
coma.
no.
But you know what? You can talk to them. You can sing to them. You can read to them.
You can have dad rub their feet with lotion.
I got that on video. And the thing is that, like they told me, she would never. And we went into the feeding program and 6 weeks of stupidness. And we stayed in contact with everybody that was a family that did this program at the same time. And every one of them went back on the feeding tube. She ate through a feeding tube for 80% of her life, right?
Mhm.
And I knew she'd eat. I knew she'd talk. And so because she had what's called apraxia, where you can't say certain things like B, P, N, so instead of saying I need, because the tongue goes to the roof of your mouth and she couldn't do that, I taught her to say I want. So the tongue doesn't move. So it might not make sense to some people. I want a pencil instead of I need a pencil, right? She would do that. She also signed from like months old on because she needed to be able to tell me what she needed. And she had a trach. And when you have a trach, you are inaudible unless you have a passing ear valve on, right? So she couldn't speak and I didn't get to hear her voice. So I taught her the signs for simple things that she needed. And when she finally could talk after she got that out, and she had apraxia, so a lot of her speech was inaudible. I always understood her, but we changed some words around. And yes, everybody knows Faith, knows she's a major smart aleck. And so instead, she would get away with things with the doctors when she, instead of saying but,
Cause she's so damn cute.
she's so cute. When she would say but, she didn't say but because it would come out
Mhm.
right? So she would say ass,
Mhm.
right? And they would get really mad. And she's like, well, they understood me. Touche, you know?
That's right.
The kid goes through so much. I'm not going to say a word,
Mhm.
you know, about the fact that somebody's going to be that territorial and be rude. And you're going to stare at her. You know, she had a trach or whatever. She was a year and a half old. And I had to go to the drugstore. And this lady's like, oh my God, she has a hole in her neck. Without missing a beat, Faith just shot her finger. And she's like, are you going to let her do that? And I said, actually, my hands are full. Yeah, I am. Yeah, it's the number one thing is she's going to always stick up for herself. You know, you're miserable and you're going to stay miserable. She's
Mhm.
adorable. She's sweet, cute, always adorable. So, you know, and people today are so unhappy. They're so miserable in their lives. You know, put the damn phone down. I can't stand watching my husband TikTok scroll. It drives me out of my brain. Like he goes to the toilet, sits on his throne, and for 30 minutes he is scrolling freaking TikTok. I can't stand it.
I'm making a masterpiece.
I don't give a
It takes time.
Literally. But do it without the damn phone just once. Watch the time get cut in half.
Oh, no, you can't do that.
I don't do it. I don't do it.
It's because you got rabbit turds.
Never. We're not.
You don't drop logs.
Oh my God. It doesn't matter. You don't need it. People are so obsessed with their phones. They're more in love with their phones than they are their significant other. More in love with their
No, I
phones
love
than spending time with their family. Because people would rather be on those stupid phones. And I guarantee you, in 3, 4, 5 years, you won't know anybody you're talking to now. Because everybody's just addicted to this crap. And it's ridiculous. And you know what? Social media has been proven to be as much of a addiction as cocaine, as any of the other drugs. People are as addicted to social media. And it is an addiction. It is a true addiction. And yes, I'm looking at you.
I don't do cocaine.
No, but you do social media.
I do. I do.
And it drives me. How can you look at me so tired? You slept 99% of the day today.
I took a small nap after I worked.
Several naps. No.
You don't think I worked today?
Not really.
How do you figure?
Okay, so you slept
Right.
for like almost 2 hours, and then you were a bear, and then you stayed up for like 45 minutes, and you went back to sleep until after dinner time.
No, I accidentally passed out on the
You see
recliner.
graphics. Like, here's the thing: you promised to swear to me that we would repaint the kitchen by the end of today.
No,
Uh-huh.
the weekend includes Monday.
No, it doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
You've had the last 6 days off because
It's been awesome.
because
We're crazy, y'all.
well, I love having you here. But the problem is that you said I have a honey-do list before this major surgery coming up, and I got stuff to get done. And
We got it done.
social media.
What about it?
That's my new term for your own crap.
Oh,
That's my go-to term now. Social media. Because none of it's gotten good. What? Would you like to go through the list?
no.
But then, listen to what I do. So my daughter wants cheese sticks, right? And so my husband's making
My daughter.
hamburgers for dinner. So I go and get him onion rings. I get her cheese sticks, and I get them a strawberry shake, and I get my little salad. See, I'm always trying to take care of my family and making them happy and giving them all the things that they need and want without having to ask for them.
What does that have to do with social media?
See, you're thinking about your addiction again.
What about my? What? We're on air, babe. You can't use that word.
I can say dick.
You. That's the third time you said it.
Okay.
Good night, son.
What? Faith sent me the greatest thing. Why do little girls not fart? Because they don't get what was the end of it?
They don't get assholes until they get married. So we've had a plethora of people join our Mighty Network Academy. Thank y'all, everyone who's joined the Academy. I tried to reach out to most of you and welcome me into the Academy. I've seen a lot of y'all hop right on the courses, and we'd like to know what you think of those courses. So reach out to us under contact us and let us know. If we need improvement, let us know. My wife will get right on it.
Do you see how he delegates that to me?
Because I'm the president.
The CEO is over the president. I founded this company when you were with not me.
Well, then why am I the boss?
No, I made you my bitch. I mean, I made you the president, which means you're underneath
But I'm
me.
giving you orders.
I don't think so. Faith!
If there's something wrong with the academy, I'm going to tell you to fix it.
How would you know if you're not really over on it?
And then my people's going to tell me.
How would you know if you're not really on it?
And
How
then
many classes
What are you going to
have you
do?
gone through?
128 of them.
No, you haven't. I can tell you because I can go on and see which ones you've ever logged on to.
Hi, Faith. Welcome to the show.
Say hi. So he says that he's my boss because the president is over the CEO.
No. Yeah. You're my underling.
And I was talking earlier about how hard it is for some people who go through abuse when they're looking out the window and they're looking inside and they don't do anything to help people. And I was like, I'm just going to put it out there. God forbid somebody got dumb enough to try to put their hands on you because I won't be outside that window. Who are you more afraid of somebody meeting?
Mom.
What?
Why?
What?
Mom.
Oh, what? What's that?
What? I'm much better with knives.
That's not funny. Did you just say I'm old?
No, she said you're not as good of a shot as you.
Right, because I'm old. I got more gray hair now.
Did you at least? Well, hold on, wait. Did he at least hit the target? Our
Are you
daughter hit
kidding
the
me?
bullseye 3 times out of 3. How many times did you hit it? 1.
Fate or budget is limited, you may be dismissed.
Who's over who? Is it Mom?
You can't say mom. She's asked about the company.
Well,
The president is over the CEO. Is that it?
No. The CEO is the person who created Dimes. I was the founder of A Contagious Smile 20 years ago. Then you and I, after you got your head out your ass and you went back to where you belong for once, decided to start by branching out into an academy. You were offered the position of president, which was offered by the CEO, which was me, and you accepted. So you work for me.
And ladies and gentlemen, look how far we've come since I've jumped on board.
This ought to be good. Who won an Emmy? Wait, not you.
Oh, am I going? I know that one.
Who's published books?
I know that one, Michael.
I've been there to support you.
Like what? What?
Help edit those books.
You've how many books of mine have you read? Silence. Freaking
Like cover to cover? Fully?
even the inside of. I already know the answers, so tread very carefully.
It must be at least one.
Which one did you read cover to cover?
Nart.
You didn't read the whole thing.
No, I edited it.
I'm gonna.
Bye, Faith.
No, she could be in this. It's a family thing. Right? Yeah. What's the latest prank you did on him? That was pretty funny.
I don't know. One of you a-holes put ice in my chair the other day,
That was
and I sat down on it.
No.
So what? Had a big wet spot like I peed myself.
Well, you have crapped out your pants.
I have. Supposed to be new at my age.
Well, we can get you some Depends.
So I'm not gonna play for like a fair. I outsmarted him.
Oh, yeah. Let's tell everybody how. We do it now?
I would, but I don't want him to figure it out and then keep going.
Oh, he's so far behind. You don't have anything to worry about. Can we tell?
I was hoping to play a new game a lot. I was hoping to new.
So they compete in what I hate, which is video games.
Really?
And so he's been playing this new game while she's been playing this other game that they've been playing against each other. And he has been time consumed on the new game he's playing, which Faith loves and has been encouraging him to do because that puts her even further ahead. So what level are you on?
I'll have to cut, I think, almost 56.
56. And how much money?
5 million.
5 million. And you're on level 4?
48.
And you have what?
300,000. Seriously?
Look at all mine and we'll spend money on it. I can send it.
Yeah, see, I've taught you well. Uh-huh.
No, sir.
So you did give me an amazing compliment the other day about how
God's compliment you. Every day I look at you and tell you how beautiful you are.
No, I'll call it.
Wait a minute. She better defend me.
I didn't hear you. What?
Dinner,
I didn't hear you.
dinner tonight.
Not for
Did I
every
not
day.
look at
It's
you?
not
in the
every
eyes?
day.
Not for one night.
No, it's not one night. It's all the time.
Hey,
Defend me, woman.
who's on top? CEO or president?
You can be on top.
I'll call with you.
I'm the boss.
No, not.
No, you're not. No, you're not. Who is the boss?
Mom.
I say that to you all the time because you didn't hear it before.
So you only say it because you feel like I missed out on it, and
Yeah.
you feel the need to like fill in a blank?
No.
Crickets.
Mm.
If you just pull out the remote and mute me, get out of here, Faith.
But hold on, he gave an amazing compliment about how articulate you are and how smart you are because she has been writing the most amazing works. And some of her works are coming up in this Dear Silence book. And she has literally been writing the most beautiful things. She wrote a song, which was amazing.
And I am not going to put out.
I didn't ask you to.
I'm
I'm
not
sorry.
going to say.
She's written some of
Then
the
you'll
most
be just like your mom.
amazing. Wow. It's some of the most amazing poems and stories.
I have a song in the book.
Okay, got a whole list. And so he made the comment of how articulate she is and how amazing she sounds and creative. That's right.
Yep.
Yes.
So hopefully one day we'll publish a book or 3 or 5 by her. Including her poems.
Mom.
Who would write the book cover? Who would create the book cover?
Mom.
She actually wrote a song the other night and said, oh,
We
that was awesome.
already talked about that.
Yeah.
What's something embarrassing about your dad?
Nothing.
He doesn't snore.
Thank y'all for listening to a Fake a Smile. Here we go.
But when you're in a prison, it's not about I'm going to the house.
Really?
One, but
He doesn't either.
Or the father basically a heart attack. Because he cleared them.
He snuck out, went across the street, got caught in the closet, and almost gave the parent a heart attack.
And almost
Yeah, but it looks like came out of the closet.
Weren't you banging the sisters?
with one.
Well, I kind of got caught.
With which one?
I don't remember.
Did they know about each other?
It was the same room.
Then they had to know about each other. You know what? You do a lot of nasty shit in the same area with more than one person. That's not the first time.
Can we move on to the next subject?
Why? When we got there, fine, having fun.
I think we're going to end the show with Faith having a conversation with Dad for a minute. So I'm going to let you two finish it.
Really?
You can
Wow.
say whatever you would like
Listen
to.
to that. Silence.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm gonna go first.
Oh, you're going first? Let Dad go.
Well, I still want to call me never start the person.
You got the Neo from Matrix hand. Come on, come on, come on. Look, she's waiting.
What can I say about my daughter Faith?
She's perfect. Practically perfect in every way.
Y'all, she has literally been through hell. And I'm sitting here looking at a warrior right now. I see her battle wounds. We see her scar.
Kick-ass scar.
And her little pooch down there. Your little stomach. And, you know, to see her lying on that hospital bed.
There's pollen in here.
I'm proud of her.
Dad's crying.
I'm not crying.
Yes, you are.
I'm not sensitive.
Fine.
It's the fan.
Boston.
There's a water in them.
I'm very proud.
Oh.
Well, you know what? You can
Here.
Don't throw things at me. I'm not a monkey.
Your toilet paper right before I wipe off your eyes. All right, he said it, so now it's your turn.
And then it depends on the end. But not working like that, no matter what. and then I not have trust with him for a while after never knew him. But when he told me that he stayed on my side when I almost died, well, that changed everything. And I'm glad.
Your mom still don't trust me. Every time I get around her, she's trying to block my hands.
Good.
He needs permission, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are you a mama's girl or a daddy's girl?
I can say it's not good or bad.
If you're good,
No,
you're bad.
bad.
But in general,
Um,
mama's girl. Mama's girl. My girl. My girl. So you're gonna go paint now?
I'm gonna go shower.
And that no, because you're gonna get paint on you, so you need to wait.
I'm not that sloppy.
Yeah, you are.
yeah, you are.
Bye, Faith.
Yeah,
Thanks for
you
visiting.
Thank you.
Shut up.
I tell her all the time she's beautiful.
No.
Tell Dad, get Dad to admit he's gonna paint the kitchen
I'm gonna paint the kitchen
tonight.
sometime.
Tonight.
Sometime.
Tonight, when.
Are you gonna take us out? Thank y'all for listening to Faith, Victoria, Michael. On Unstoppables. Unstoppable. Here at the Contagious Smile, we thank you for supporting us by continuing listening and sharing our little podcast and what we do and who we try to reach out to. Please get on Amazon and support us monetarily by purchasing some of her books that she's written.
They can also make a
Curate.
donation for scholarships.
And then, like she said, I think it's the top note was the bottom right of our main website, contagiousmile.com. You can donate and it will help go towards a scholarship for someone who is less fortunate. And be sure to look out for the book coming soon. Dear Silence. Dear Silence. And I'm sorry if we didn't get your story in there, your voice in there. This may lead into something else, and we don't know yet. So thank God for listening.
I love you,
You love them or you love me?
but I love you more.
I love you most. Good night, y'all.